Lee Carsley's decision to not sing the national anthem has been the sporting story of the international break. He's come under heavy fire after not joining in when England faced Ireland, and it's overshadowed the start of his reign as interim manager. So should he or any England manager have to sing the national anthem? Is the court of public opinion so strong that the FA should back down from making him permanent gaffer? Or is this just one big storm in a teacup?
It really doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
It's clear that he's passionate about the job. Who wouldn't be passionate about being England manager, regardless of what, nation you're from?
If you go to America, they'll sing the national anthem. If you put a coach inside any American team, whether he's from wherever, they'll be singing that national anthem because they have a deep-seated pride in their country and a deep-seated expectation of their leading figures. And we should have more of that in this bloody country.
For many people, this is about respect. If you're managing a national football team, you should respect it by singing the national anthem. Now, Lee Carsley might have been born and raised in England, but he has Irish heritage and played 40 times for their national side. And he's publicly stated that he's never sang any anthem throughout his playing and managerial career. But for Simon Jordan, that's not enough reason to refuse to sing it.
He didn't sing the Republic of Ireland's national anthem. So if he's so proud of his Irish heritage, he didn't adopt that particular stance when he was playing for the national side. He is occupying a position of great authority. Now, I don't think he should be dictated to doing it, and I don't feel that offended that he didn't. What I'm talking about is the broader strokes.
You want to see it from the England manager?
I just think that it comes with a different set of responsibilities, and if you don't want them, don't manage England. It's really simple.
Simon clashed in the studio with Arsenal and England legend Martin Keown, who also has Irish heritage. He understands Carsley's decision.
Personally, if I was in that situation, I may not have even have sang the English national anthem in that stadium, out of respect for the heritage that I come from.
But others say having such an important role demands a certain level of respect for its traditions. And Simon says this issue speaks to a wider problem in our society.
We spend a lot of our time in this country telling people what's wrong with this country, telling people what's wrong with our past and what's wrong with our history, and how this institution is institutionally racist, and how this thing is misogynist, and how this country doesn't have any values, and how we have no standards, and whatever else we have. Yet we do have all of the above, and we are a unique and very valuable country. And I think part of that is our national identity, and part of our national identity is our monarchy, and part of our monarchy is our national anthem. And I think if you want to assume the role of an England team manager, I think it's probably more sensible and more valuable to do something as fundamentally small in terms of any sacrifice by singing the national anthem. I think it comes with the responsibility. I don't know why you wouldn't want to. I can understand why you might feel ambivalent about it. I don't know why you'd have some deep-seated belief that actually it was offensive. I mean, people laughed at the fact that Capello couldn't speak much English but mumbled his way through certain aspects of the English national anthem. Sven-Göran Eriksson did what Sven-Göran Eriksson does, which he embraces the culture of something and tries to make the best version of itself. But I think it's about respect, and it's about central values, and it's about a national identity. And as I said, without repeating myself, if we have more of that in our society, less appeasement, more central values, more definition. If you go to America, they'll sing the national anthem. If you put a coach inside any American team, whether he's from wherever, they'll be singing that national anthem because they have a deep-seated pride in their country and a deep-seated expectation of their leading figures. And we should have more of that in this bloody country.
Now, this has touched a nerve with people and become headline news. But there's actually a long list of players and managers who at times haven't sang God Save the Queen or King. It's understood Gary Neville didn't sing it until someone at the FA told him to. Wayne Rooney, who's incredibly patriotic and captained England himself, didn't sing it at first because he didn't know the words. And Gary Lineker's said in the past he didn't sing it as he was focusing on the game. But even more so, it's widely believed Sir Alf Ramsey never sang it, and he's the only manager to win a major trophy for the men's national side. Also, Sarina Wiegman doesn't sing it, having taken the Lionesses to a Euros win. So maybe it's just a prerequisite for England managers who actually want to win something. In all seriousness though, Carsley's decision has divided people, but football writer Henry Winter reckons what fans really care about is what happens on the pitch.
I think the England fans, certainly the ones I've spoken to, that, they're interested in the England manager's coaching ability, not his singing ability. I mean, do we get Ed Sheeran in as England manager? I think what the England fans want, particularly those who spent a lot of money traipsing around Germany in the summer, they want to see an England team far more on the front foot. They're not bothered about whether the England manager actually sings the anthem.
That's understandable, but Simon Jordan says if this is Carsley's position, then he shouldn't be surprised at the backlash he receives.
I've laid out my case why I think it would be valuable for him to do it, but I don't think that he should be commanded or demanded to do it. And if he wants to make that choice, then he takes the consequences and the heat of people's arguments that believe that certain parts of this country need to have a national identity, and an England football manager goes with that.
So there's been a lot of talk about this, but what has the man at the centre of this storm actually had to say? After the Ireland game, we asked him if he was surprised by the uproar this has caused.
I'm not sure, really, to be honest. I think, you know, I was thinking about it earlier. You know, I made my Republic of Ireland debut in 1997, and every international match I've played in or been to, I've never sang either a national anthem based on me focusing on performance. You know, today would be one of the proudest days of my career. You know, so proud to stand there and lead the team, and you know, whether you know I'm singing or not, the passion's there. I want to win. I want the players to do so well. So. But you know, everyone's got their right to an opinion, and I fully respect that.
Carsley says he's passionate about the job regardless of whether he sings it, and talkSPORT legend Adrian Durham, who was at the game, says that's plain to see when you watch him doing his job.
Well, he was out there early, all tracksuited up, you know, putting out the balls and the cones, and he is a tracksuit manager. He is an on-the-field coach, which, you know, is something that you've got to respect. Absolutely love that about him. And I like the fact he's not going to change his ways. He's not going to suddenly become England manager and put a three-piece suit on. He's actually going to keep his tracksuit on. I personally like that. I really don't care whether he can sing or not. Actually, no, I am interested if he can sing, but I don't care if he can sing the anthem or not. I'd love to have a bit of karaoke with him just to see what he's like. But if he doesn't want to sing the anthem, then fair enough. It really doesn't bother me. Yeah. It's clear that he's passionate about the job. Who wouldn't be passionate about being England manager regardless of what, you know, nation you're from?
Now, if you remember, Carsley actually turned down the Ireland job in March, and many people thought the position he's in right now is what he himself was hoping for when he made that decision, that he'd hold out for Southgate to step down, take the position on an interim level, perform well, and then get it permanently. Now, he's closer than he's ever been to the job he's dreamed of, and only time will tell whether the FA are swayed by public opinion on this. They reportedly say this won't affect their decision, but with England set to face Ireland on the first Sunday after Armistice Day and staff expected to wear poppies, that might change should Carsley refuse to wear one. Now, there's no indication that will be the case, but this conversation is certainly set to resurface when they face each other in the reverse fixture. So what side of the fence are you on? Should Carsley be snubbed from the permanent job because of his stance on the national anthem? Or should he be allowed to just get on with his job, regardless of whether he sings it or not?